all, Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute bigger, better, positive, good God and truth of you. It is stated in some doctrines that in the beginning, Adam, right, was created perfect. He was created enlightened out, good as truth, to never die. And where the story takes off, it takes off with Adam coming to himself, right? Within this paradise, this garden. And even though he knows what is good as truth, to feel one more positive, and I'll explain that here in a second, right? Because he was created that way, he never knew what a negative way was or a bad feeling. He never had to address that reality to the good God and truth of him. And I believe what happened is that Adam was the first created man, whether he created himself or he was created as a mechanism of God through the good truth of Jesus Christ, right? To the reality check of all I am. I think he was created prior to Eve, and he was the head of whatever was going on in the world at that time. And I'm going to put a link with this, with a picture. And I believe that each one of the religions, right, of that time, okay, that came from Adam, okay, were true religions, but they were spread out through the pyramids of them all over the continent. And I said I thought that the continent split, right, at the time of the first, what the Coburn Bible says is the first, the actual beginning. But I may be incorrect about that. Or it may have happened again. The continents may have fully divided at that point. But here's what I think happened. Okay, something come into our atmosphere, whether it was a war, whatever it was. Okay, whether it was a space debris, radioactive space debris that just made the land toxic. We did not know how to handle it. Okay, and because of that, Adam woke up in what he knew was paradise. He knew he was good as truth, right? But he had no bearings of what was going on in the world around him. Then Eve comes along, okay? Now the Coburn talks about there was two people on the earth, and the people of the Badlands, right? They died, and Adam's people, we say they're Adam's people because the Coburn says they didn't die, okay? But here's what happened, okay? Eve had already been existing, okay, outside of what Adam, right, was, okay, like the land and the place and the ways he came from. She came from a place around called Sindhu, okay, which is modern day India, okay. Now, when she came onto Adam, these people did not mix because Adam's people knew before they were destroyed that these people, right, did not know the good God and truth to the reality check of them, to only be bigger and better than all negativity. Okay, they didn't know why those folks were like that, but they knew that they were toxic to them. Okay, and I know this, right, because here's what happened. Okay, Adam turned away from what he thought was positive and good, right, as truth. into the faith of Eve. And that faith was negatively deficient, like all faith, right? Of being one absolutely positively good as truth to the bigger and better of positive and good. And he had no idea what he was doing. He had blindly crossed a Shiva shaft, okay? A devilishly delusional snake and bushwhacker on all he was of positive and good, only crossing bigger and better. But this was not Eve's fault. Eve was just deficiently, right, from a tribe that was not as refined as where Adam come from. That's just the bottom line of it. In the lands that they were in, it kept them so sickly and so bad. They were so raw to the elements of them. You hear me? That those elements was constantly a teardown on Eve's people, man. Eve was always at Adam's side from that point on, right? And Eve came from Adam's side, okay? She was always at his rib, you understand? Now, when he crossed the Shiva shaft on his holy existence, he was Shiva, shafting himself. He was the devilishly delusional snake and bushwhack of him. He was what went radioactive to the reality of his mind, being demented and twisted and disillusioned. And Eve's people can be proven also through the descendants of Cain. Cain went to the land of Nod, okay? God as truth, the good God and truth, right? Of Cain was marked with pity. He wasn't marked with hate. He wasn't marked with shame. He was marked with pity. It was pitiful for him. It was a negative deficiency all the way on his mind, man, everywhere he went. And he went to the land of Nod where he knew his wife, which was Eve's people. And it's a fact. That was the Hindu Sindhu of the Shiva shaft of Eve's people. Listen, I may have said that incorrectly, but here's what I'm trying to tell you. Because Adam couldn't relate to what negativity was, because he come from something so positive and good as truth, he never had to experience it. He was blindsided. And this blind side, right? He couldn't do the bigger and better Eve or her faith, and he couldn't do the bigger and better of none of us, crossing us back one more positive and good as truth to only be the absolute bigger and better of all negativity. Listen to me. Only cross one more positive when you feel all negativity. Only add up good as truth by the way you feel until the negativity subtracts to one neutral nothing. If you do, you will never be destroyed for that. You could never suffer out of existence for that. That is the enlightened, God-given, created way you are supposed to be. That is the absolute bigger and better of all love and hate, all faith and reality check. You can't be destroyed for that. You can't suffer out of existence for that. And you can't die of that. And everything that I know of, that I've stated to you about Adam and Eve and Shiva, I know as a fact to be true. Now, I might be a little scattered, twisted, and undefined in the absolute of the matters, but in reality, check, I state you no lie. Every time you cross negative with negativity, you are a Shiva shaft on your holy existence. You are radioactively taking the negative charges of the electron field around you, right? And you're taking them into your core, right? Into the neutron of you, man. And you're producing out negative matter. And that negative matter, the absolute of all negative matter, is the one nothing of it. And you're diseasing yourself and all you are, birthing out negative matter to the reality of you. Stating that the good God and truth of things cross bad, and it's a lie. or neutral. Nothing's neutral. If it's not one more positive, right? To be good as truth, it's the good truth of God of nothing, just negatively deficient of one absolutely positive and good. Jesus said Adam wasn't good enough for you. He came from great wealth and great power, but he died. He said, you make two into one and one into two. Then what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to add up to the bigger and better of three. For all mankind, I am the Father, Son, and thieving Holy Spirit. Of all mankind's negativity, absolutely, positively, to one neutral nothing, I am. I am not having it. Listen to me. For almost 35 years of my life, I've spent more time incarcerated, more time hated, more time deranged, and called and diseased every way a person could be, plagued, man, because of this flawed logic on us. Because our leadership won't man up and get right with me and come bond with me, and let's all do bigger and better than this in reality. We could hate for hate, and we could cross and blow ourselves up to nothing. Well, I'm going to fight for my life. I'm going to fight for my existence. When I look around, I see a miracle. And just like Adam, I don't know why I'm here, but I know this much. You hear me? It's positive and it's good. And that's the truth of God of it. And I'm going to keep it the bigger, better way of that. And by the physics of all known laws of fucking reality, you can ask anybody anywhere. You can manipulate all science of anything. But that only gets bigger and better. We're being threatened in this world. We're being diseased, man, by our leadership. They're all involved. Every one of them. Every one of them, man. You hear me? Russia, China, Japan, United States, the UN. They're all a bunch of damn devils. They'll call them what they are. Because I made sense a long time ago. Now, I try to stay lighthearted. And I try to stay good as true. And I try to stay more positive, bigger and better than the negativity of those fools. It's hard. It's aggravating. It's playing on my patience because in reality, check, I know what they're doing is murdering everything out in sight. And blind, selfish, fucked up, raw dog, nothing, chump ass stupidity. Scary cowards. Your leadership world will not man up for you. Why won't they man up for you? If you see this, and you got any goddamn sense, you better get at me.